Let's go.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Yo, you're supposed to say Young World.
Oh, my fault. This new venue's got me all goofed up.
This is fucking weird, man.
Why is it weird?
I don't know. I think it's weird. I
Well,
think
it's
I'm so
fine.
used to the fucking COVID setup.
Yeah.
We're doing it from far that it's like
Now it's a new method. We're gonna have to get used to it now, and so will you. And with that being said, Young World. My name is Carlos,
my name is Ryan.
and this is The Blank with Carlos and Ryan. Welcome to the show today. Now you're wondering to yourselves, wow, you guys can afford graphics in 3D? No, ladies and gentlemen, me and Ryan are together for the first time on this show's history, live and direct in person from the good old streets of downtown Toronto.
Episode 14.
Episode number 14.
So a milestone.
Yes, I'd say so. We've hit a bit of a landmark, so we figure, why not have landmark changes? So we are live and direct. We got paintings now. We official, all right? We have art, all right? We are focused. All right? So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Live and direct. I kid you not. Ryan is in fact here. We doing this, folks. We doing this. We're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep this set up for a little while until things pick up for us. So we're gonna try and keep things moving along this way. Then we're gonna be the same funny duo. Serious too. We'll talk about the topics. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. We'll talk about what we want to talk about. That's The Blank, ladies and gentlemen. We have the clues. We just need to figure out the answers, either together, even with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you stuck along with us from the very beginning, thank you so much. We're here now. Now we're going to get along with the show. Just wanted to shout out, to all those that have stuck along with us for this long. And now that we're in our new, studio. Let's call this a studio, because that's
Studio?
what it is. We're in a studio now.
My apartment is a studio.
Yes, we're in a studio. God damn it! They don't need to know what this is. It's a studio. Cheers here
Cheers.
to many more episodes.
The thing about this episode is that it's an odd one. Because I think that it was more about trying a different space as opposed to the topic in itself. So even me, I was worried as hell to be able to kind of exactly talk about what the hell we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
And whether it's like an OCD thing to be able to kind of pick and choose, some sort of direction. But I think.
Do you have OCD?
I don't think so. I think it's more OCD in relation to projects and like work.
Do you see yourself having OCD like at work or something?
No, because my own work, the day that I do, or my job day to day, I don't have no OCD, and my employees are my employers.
This is
or my colleagues can fucking.
Because as long as I've known you, I don't
for me. It's just this.
For as long as I've known you, I haven't seen you as the type to be like so particular about something.
This means more to me than my work. That's the thing.
Whoa.
That's the thing. I could care.
Yeah, hey, man. hey.
This kind of stuff means more to me than my own individual work, because you want to be able to kind of portray something properly. And I pretty much portray like who you are as an individual, because that means more than you. And I don't identify as my work.
Right.
Like my day-to-day job is, I don't know, 10% of who I actually am, I feel. If I really wanted to put a number towards it. So like in this case, this kind of stuff, the creativity outside of like your 9 to 5 means way more to me than anything else. So it's like, this isn't important. And like for the people who do happen to listen to us, thank you. But to be able to satisfy and to be able to kind of like control what you're putting out is way more important than my day-to-day 9 to 5. So
Interesting. Well, if it helps, I love my job. So if you're listening, Guys, thank you so much for the employment. Can't wait to come back tomorrow.
You help me pay my bills.
Trying to feed the kids, you know what I'm saying? So thank you so much. But no, I get exactly where you're coming from, because at work, you're just told to do this, this, and this, whereas, this is you being you, and you want to make sure you portray yourself, the right way. And I get it. When you have such an investment in something, you really want to make sure that everything works out okay in the end, right?
One of the things I actually came across the other day was I'm a big Reddit user, and I know that probably and like a lot of people that are close to me know, like I'm a
Yes.
big. So there was this post on the Ontario Reddit. Excuse me, it's a beer. But so there was this post on the Ontario Reddit, and this guy comes out, or this girl comes out, I don't know exactly who, or this person comes out and goes, man, like there's just this like continuous circle of just like working and then paying bills, and then real estate's going up, so you can't afford a place.
Right.
Groceries are getting more expensive, like by the year. Are we in this like endless circle of like working and just like working for somebody else, especially, and living this lifestyle that we're supposed to live, where it's like you're literally just struggling your whole life until the point that you die.
Mm-hmm.
So my thought was on it was that, and I actually commented, and I don't like to comment on a lot of Reddits, but I commented, I'm like, man, like don't let your 9 to 5 be the person that you are, like your identity, because you're so much more than that.
Right.
And if you aren't more than that, and you really identify as like, whatever fucking job that you do every day, whether you're a carpenter, it's like when people ask you, who are you? It's like, oh, I'm a carpenter.
Mm.
And then that is in direct relation to exactly who you are as a person. I think that's terrible. I think it's terrible that people identify where it's like my whole life is revolved around this concept of being who I work for, and like who I am as a person, like aside from, my humor, my interests, my clothing that I wear, that I pick and choose. Some people out there identify as exactly what their job is and how much money they make, and like how much they're struggling in relation to be able to kind of own real estate in fucking Canada, because Canada's real estate fucking market is wild.
Sucks.
But it's like you as an individual, you become this person where it's like, man, you're literally just a fucking depressed. I'm not saying anything against mental illness or anything like that, but I just mean like you have become this person that is just, you hate yourself because you've identified as this individual.
Mm.
So I don't know where I was going with this, but I would hate for that to happen. So it's like this podcast means so much more to me, to be able to kind of produce something for people to listen to talk about, to sit with you, especially because you mean a lot to me, Carlos.
Oh.
But in this case, it's like, that means more to me, and identify more as a person that has his relationships, has this hustle on the side. I wouldn't even consider it the side, because this is a hustle, but that's the person I am.
Mm.
I don't identify as the person I am 9 to 5. That's why I don't really talk about it.
Because
it's like
essentially, well, you're excited about this because you're breaking out of that circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to be that guy on Reddit that's, living the 9 to 5, and then outside of work, he's like, yeah, now what, right?
Well, how do you feel?
Oh, I love this. This is great. In terms of, because I know that at work, for those who don't know, I work in insurance claims. So I just, I take calls and make calls about people that are in accidents, and make the arrangements for their cars to get repaired, and, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, for this, I'm much more comfortable than I am in my job. Like, to be perfectly honest, even at my job, I'm not terrible at my job, but the one complaint I get is, Carlos, you seem pretty monotone on the phone. And it's like, oh shit, really? And like, I want to change it, but it's just like, you can tell, like, I don't care for this anymore.
Just singing voice, man.
Yeah, just, I don't know what it is, but now, like, when I'm doing this, there's that comfort. There's like, I don't feel pressure doing stuff like this. There's no, like, I can be myself and like know that, like, people who listen, it's my opinion versus me, following a script for what the, management is telling me what to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, this is something that I enjoy doing. I hope to do a lot more, and I'm excited to see where this goes. And who knows, if this works out, and with your help, hopefully, this can become a full-time thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I'm excited for this, man. This is a start of another start of something new again. Being in person, with you. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
One thing we actually missed, which we usually do on regular episodes, is the Happy Thursday. So fucking Happy Thursday, everybody.
Motherfucking happy Thursday or Friday if you're listening.
Oh yeah, on Friday. Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Happy Thursday. Start to your weekend.
Right.
Give me the recent events, man. You're more into this than I am. Like, give me what what's up and coming. Give me what Toronto's. I don't know. Give me something. Give me something.
I mean, recent events. I think everyone's talking. Not everybody, but I mean, the one thing that no one saw coming. Freaking America's #1 father for how many years now on television? Mr. Pudding Pop himself is out of prison. Bill Cosby literally was playing Yu-Gi-Oh in prison and in court, pulled out his trap card, and the court was like, "Yep, you're free to go." And yeah, he's a free man now. After literal freaking how many accusations from people or women, the man's a free dude.
I didn't personally follow it at all.
Yeah,
because I'm not. I don't know. I didn't grow up watching him on that television show. Like Bill Cosby wasn't really much to me at all.
yeah.
So it's kind of like I didn't really care too much about it. But it's like, why? What happened? Like, why was he freed?
Well,
because from what my little understanding, a lot of people came out and said that he actually did do.
He did a lot. We're talking a lot.
Like, it wasn't just like one or two.
Yeah, this is
literal a lot of people.
Decades of him doing this shit. Literal decades, and so apparently when the courts were going over his shit, he had an agreement that he would not be criminally charged for the shit that he did. I don't know how that works, but
like the contracts he signed with people,
yes,
like being like, oh, like me and you can hang out, but I won't be criminally charged for anything that we're gonna be doing after.
Right.
Wow, that's wild.
So that's according to the reports is what they're saying. So he, they reviewed it and they're like, "Oh shit, goddamn, yeah, you're free to go. My bad. I'm sorry. Let's get Mr. Cosby out of here." But yeah, I mean, obviously it was a shock that because Bill Cosby, you were mentioning that you didn't watch the show. I didn't really watch the show either growing up, but I know from what I've learned that the Cosby Show was literally like
huge,
like episodes were getting more views than the Super Bowl. It was that big. Like I believe the finale had more views than the Super Bowl.
That is wild.
It is literally one of the biggest sitcoms ever, like ever. And then the spinoff of the show was A Different World. You know that show? Oh no,
I don't know that.
You don't know A Different World?
I'm not a huge TV person.
What the shit? You never watched A Different? Really?
I never was. Like other than like the given stuff like Fresh Prince,
and
like Seinfeld. I think we brought this up before, but it's like our whole fucking 90s television episode. But like other than that, no, I'm not a huge TV person.
Damn. All right. Well, I mean, yeah,
A Different World. That's the first time I've heard that today.
What?
Like my lifetime.
That's crazy. I mean, even I watched a few episodes.
Maybe it was an Asian thing.
I don't.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I don't mean to make this break. Cut.
Jesus. But yeah, the Cosby Show was just real, like bigger than big. And Cosby, as a comedian, he inspired many comedians today to become said comedian. Yeah. So him being accused of what it was a pretty big deal, huge deal. So now that he's a free man, it's kind of like that. There's a few people that are like happy for him because they supported him, but there's that obviously most people who are not happy because what he did. But yeah, it's me personally. I mean, I wasn't there, I wouldn't know. I'm just gonna, my hands are not really on this one, but yeah, it's interesting to see. I didn't see it coming. I thought Homeboy was gonna spend a long time in prison for
The
it.
rest of his life.
Yeah, but I mean, he's old as fuck now, and I don't even think he even
How
understood.
old is he?
He's like 80 something. He could even understand what happened. Like, you be the judge and then tell me that I'm being free from prison.
Well, I don't know if
I want you to be the judge. and then
everybody
tell me.
knows. I don't know if everyone knows it, but I actually went through sort of a legal program in my education.
I
So,
really
like,
thought you were gonna say I went through
No,
a
no,
similar
no,
situation.
no.
I was like, hey,
So-
hey, what the fuck? You can't be saying this shit and me not know. Just Rocky runs out the door like, what the fuck?
but
Yeah.
I went through a legal program for most of my education, and like going through high school, I was a big fan of like law. So in some of my classes, there was one thing where it was like, and this is probably not even relevant, but it's like if you're too old to go to jail, at least in Canada, sometimes the judge will be like, "Hey, you're too fucking old to be in jail.
Mm.
You're gonna die in like
A year or so.
a year or so."
Yeah.
In Cosby case, I don't know how healthy he is, but it's like, no, we're not gonna put you in jail
Mm,
because you're gonna be dying anyway. It's like,
Right.
fuck that.
right.
So I don't know if that like took a little bit of placement into like what happened, or if that's like perfectly not even relevant whatsoever. But if he's already that old, is it worth it to put him in jail?
I think the public outcry really helped with that. I mean, considering how big of he wasn't that big of a star then, but I mean, like what he's contributed to the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
I think that the public outcry really helped with him being put into prison. There was that peer pressure of like, okay, do we really need to put this dude in? I think we should put this dude in prison, or else I'm gonna look like an asshole. But yeah, I mean, dude is like, yeah, he's like 80 something, and he from the way, I mean, he looks old as shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any signs of like dementia or anything like that, but yeah, it's I don't know. Me personally, I don't know if I'd put him in prison, but I mean, the accusations they just came in, so something had to be done. We're talking like more than 10 years of him doing shit like this.
I thought it was more than that.
A little more, a
But-
lot more than that. But I mean, he's contributed. This dude, he created Fat Albert.
Oh
He
yeah,
did
that's
create
fucked
Fat Al-
up,
yeah.
man.
He created Fat
Damn.
Albert. He has the Cosby Show. Literal, like arguably one of the greatest stand-up comedians of all time. For you can ask your favorite comedian, they would put him in this top 5 easily.
I'm definitely not in like myself. I'm not in that generation where I
Right.
actually got to see Bill. Like I didn't even know Bill Cosby's stand-up was a thing.
Mm,
Is it a thing?
it was
Okay,
a
so
thing,
yeah, I know. I had no
like he
idea.
had stand-up specials and shit. It was literally at that time. I think it was like between him and Richard
Wow.
Pryor.
That's wild.
Yeah, and Richard Pryor arguably
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
greatest
Richard Pryor.
ever.
See, the thing about it is like I know more of Richard Pryor
Yeah.
stand-up as opposed to Bill Cosby.
Because Richard
stand-up.
Pryor was dirty, and but Bill Cosby, he didn't like curse in his special. Like he was very clean, and the fact that he was clean and he was still like standing, doing stand up like that it was a really big testament to him.
That
yeah,
is
man.
wild.
Dude, man, I'm telling you, dude. Like it was like it's like what even with the whole Michael Jackson thing, like dude, like one of the biggest artists of all time, and then when he got accused of what he did, it was like, fuck.
I don't know if I would ever put, and this is just for me,
Mm.
if we were to ever talk about entertainment, I don't know if I'd ever put Bill Cosby on a Michael Jackson level.
Well, yeah,
But I guess like,
get
maybe he
it.
is.
Back
Maybe
then,
yeah, like,
he was
maybe-
very
yeah.
popular. Now, obviously, well, me and you, we didn't grow
Yeah.
up in that era, so we can't really. I don't know if he was Michael Jackson. He's world big. I think Bill Cosby
Generational big.
generational big. I think Bill Cosby is U.S.
Okay.
I mean, he meant a lot to the entertainment industry in the U.S. I don't think he was really that big outside of North America.
Yeah.
But Yeah, we'll see where this goes. Mr. Crosby. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's getting work anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
yeah, he's gonna have to stay at home and play this shame card for I guess the rest of his life. Yeah. But
Aside from that
yeah.
topic, it is Canada Day.
Happy Canada
Happy
Day.
Canada Day. Um, and the thing that me and Carlos, or at least me,
It's
was
a
more
very
about.
conflicting day.
It was a very conflicting day,
Yeah.
just because of what's going on in the Canadian government,
Mhm.
in our politics, and for the people who don't happen to listen to it, I don't know if you want to go over it or not.
Why not?
But yeah, so Carlos is gonna talk about it.
So obviously we're talking about the whole residential school situation. They continuously find bodies of unmarked graves of children who were I don't know if they were murdered, but they just found bodies of dead children at the schools, buried in random places. There's an outcry of these schools to be punished. I know the prime minister wanted the pope to
Oh
come here
yeah,
and
yeah.
apologize. I don't know what that would do. The pope just gonna come here and be like, my bad, but that won't really do much. Obviously I would love to see something done. It's tough because it's just like it happened all these years ago, and but at the same time, like something can't be undone about like Canada's not looking great right now.
Yeah.
Not looking great. There's a outcry to cancel Canada Day. There was a protest earlier today downtown. It was a march to you know those kids'
Yes.
lives matter.
Yes.
It's with me today. It's a toughie today. Definitely one of the most difficult Canada days. Easily the most difficult Canada day I've ever had. Because I like it here. The people are nice. It's just that with the news of what's coming out, it's yeah, I don't know if I'm for canceling Canada Day, but something can be done. What about you, man? Do you want to see
Well, like
cancel?
first off, I think my condolences, and like this is like fucking historic. You can't really cover all of it, but it's like, man, like I'm sorry to hear that like all this stuff was happening to like all these unmarked graves and like these
Right.
children that happen to lose their lives. Absolutely fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm not gonna say any sort of but or have an excuse for Canada, because Canada has a
It's
fucking dark history.
inexcusable.
We have a
Yeah.
dark
A
fucking
very
history. Like
dark
I think
history.
that it goes, we definitely know about it. I think the citizens of Canada, and like for us being like first generational children in Canada, because our
Yeah.
parents are both immigrants.
Right.
Those our immigrant parents don't really look at it that way, but like for us, we're a little bit more like aware of it. It happens to come up in our day to day. And I think that for us, we should be aware of it. So you should be aware that your country has a fucking disgusting history
Yeah.
because of what we've actually done
Right.
in residential schools, especially. But just to like the Aboriginal community in itself, like even just I recently went up north. I forget where we exactly were, but like going through a town where there was a reserve, and it's like, man, like I cannot believe, like growing up in southern Ontario, you don't even really see a reserve unless you go up north. And like that was the first time I was actually close to one, and like breathing the air out there and like smelling it and like seeing it for the first time. It's like you get that new experience, and it's like such a weird fucking thing because all this shit's happening where it's like, man, you are designated to this one area and you're not really supposed to leave, whether
Right.
it's like by law or like unconditionally or like unwritten. But it's real fucked up.
It is. Yeah.
Real fucked up what we're doing. Like it honestly is. And like I'm not saying that other countries, but aside from other countries, well, like Canada has a real dark history, and like now it's coming out. I don't know if, like Carl said, I'm not 100% for canceling, I would say, Canada Day in full. Because
It had its good. It has
from my understanding, like Canada, we do a good job in some places, definitely.
Mhm.
I'm not going to take that away. Like we definitely do a good job politically. We do a good job just being the country that we are on an international level.
Right.
There's people that fucking roll around with Canada flags just to ensure that if you're traveling around the world, like, or you're Canadian, you're supposed to be nice. And in that case, for us to be able to kind of build that doesn't just come out of nowhere.
Right.
Like we've done a pretty good job as of recent, but you can't deny that countries in itself, or us as a history of Canadian citizens, we have a disgusting history, which is a lot of what a lot of countries are based on, you know? And it's to get down to it, it's like, man, humans are fucking disgusting. It's pretty much that's pretty much what it is. And I don't mean to get really like too deep into it, but
Yeah.
like humanity's just like, you guys are fucked up, man. Like we're
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is, you know? Like power and fucking dopamine trips are the shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I feel absolutely terrible to be the kind of hear. Like it's saddening to hear, to be able to wake up every morning and be like, oh, we just found 700 graves
and that's
unmarked.
and that's not like
Yeah,
a
which is not
little-
right.
that's-
It's not right whatsoever,
yeah.
you know, kind of thing. So it's a sad day to be a Canadian,
Yeah.
I would say. Going
Definitely.
around this Canada Day, aside from COVID, because COVID's a whole nother fucked up shit, but
Right.
it is a sad day in
Yeah,
relation, definitely.
But that being said, Canada Day. Happy day
Happy
off.
Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day. Speaking of Canada and the streets, Dundas, they're thinking about changing the
yes.
name.
Yes.
They're thinking about
Yes.
changing it due to his ties to slavery. It's just, here's the deal. Obviously, if he owned slaves, that's dick
Fucked
move,
up.
dick move on his part. But at the same time, it's like I'm so used to it, you know, because it's just, you know, you go there like Dundas. It's called Dundas Square. It's just I've been calling it that all my life, and now I have to change. It's like, oh, you know, when you it's that issue of continuity for me. You know, because I know that Vaughn Secondary,
Yes.
they changed the name of it. I forget the name now. They changed it. It's still called Vaughn, you know, the city of Vaughn, but you know, we'll see where that goes.
So for people who don't know and are listening, thank you. But Vaughan Secondary School is a very famous high school in Vaughan, which is a city close to Toronto.
Yeah.
Which we're sort of from in relation to it. But Vaughan Secondary, which is one of the most famous high schools in that area, actually happened to change their name recently because of the ties that it happened to have with slavery.
Yes.
So they called it, I don't
I
remember. I don't remember what they called it, but I think
I'll
it was
look
just
it
called
up.
secondary school for like a long time, for at least the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Because there was that protest, there was that talk about let's change the name. One of the conversations I had with some of my friends recently about the change of Dundas Street was that even though we are so used to Dundas and calling it Dundas, does it hurt to just change it and be something new?
I think it's just tedious to change it, to get used to the new name is all. So I think over time, obviously, we'll get used to it. It's just we're so used to, you know, because I mean, there's tons of. I'm trying to think of something that changed and we have to call it differently now. You know, with the Air Canada Center.
Okay.
You know, they changed it to Scotiabank Arena, I believe it's called now. I to this day I still call it ACC. And Rogers Center, I'm kind of used to it now with Rogers Center. I was used to Sky Dome for a very long time, but yeah, it's just it's a matter of you know, obviously continuity is a thing where you have to get used to something, you know, or you're used to something. You literally grow up with a certain name or you know thing, and when there's a change to it now, it's just that it's bothersome. It's not something that you know that I'm not gonna lose sleep over, but it sucks that you know the change is you were gonna have to get used to the change.
one of the things that got brought up in the conversation that we happened to have recently was that I think in Germany especially, that if there's any sort of conversation or like topics brought up, the reason why I bring this up is because I think that somebody recently in Germany had a tattoo of some sort of like Nazi. I don't mean to use the word memorabilia, but like some sort of like Nazi opinionated stuff. Got a tattoo of it, and then the dude was jailed in Germany for I don't know how many X years or something like that. But it's like
Okay.
in Germany, if you even fucking spout the word Hitler, then you're shunned. Like you can't be doing nothing. Like you're just not that person. So Germany really tries to change and hide their history in relation to Germany in
It's
itself.
not very something to be proud of.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about like changes to certain things, let's say if like there was some sort of like a Hitler's middle name street that was named in Germany. And from my understanding, I think Germany is trying to get rid of all of that history in relation to it, like just trying to shun it whatsoever. No one wants to live on a street called like, let's say his Hitler Street, you know, if he happened to name a fucking street for
Right.
himself kind of thing. So
Right.
I get it. And it's like, does it hurt the human being to change that perspective? It's like, man, like we just call it whatever we want to call it now, whether it's like this street or like multicultural street. Maybe Dundas turns into something like that. It's like, I don't know. But should we be changing those things? Like, should we really put in the effort to be able to kind of like change it because it did happen to have ties to it? I don't know the history behind Dundas.
I just know about the ties to slavery. I wasn't aware of it. I mean, yeah, it's just you know, obviously we don't want the, you know, to represent somebody who's done terrible things. But the reason I mean, obviously the reason why it was named after him because he was a big part of the either I don't know the province or country. And the same with Vaughn, like you know, obviously they have their ties to slavery, but at the same time they've done, you know, they've done things to make Canada what it was. Um, but yeah, the ties to slavery, it's a shitty, you know, shitty thing for them to, you know, to do. It's a lot. And I mean, obviously, I don't, you know, I'm not surprised that they want to do the changes, you know, because no one wants to know that, you know, they've done their good and, you know, they've done their bad. So going back to Bill Cosby, he had his, you know, his shows, the Fat Alberts, the Cosby shows. But I mean, it's the one thing that they did that he should be responsible for.
Yeah.
And then apparently overtakes everything, all the good that, you know, that he's done. So it's just like, was there really any good that he's done for that one crime he did? Was there really any good intentions from all the things he's done?
It ruins the reputation.
Oh,
Like
for sure.
all of the stuff that you've ever done, let's say if there was like that 50-50 balance where you did have good stuff and did have bad stuff, your bad
The bad always outweighs
is
the
always
good.
going to outweigh the good,
Yeah.
always, no matter what. And I don't know if that's like just a human psychology thing where we're just kind of like, dude, I'm not taking sides on it, but it's just like it's always going to outweigh the good. It's just the way that we are. And the thing about human beings is that we're really adaptable.
Yeah.
Like we're okay to change. Like,
Right.
that's the way we advance in technology, we advance in medicine, we advance in like social situations. Like for us, Toronto is a melting pot of different cultures. We're just used to that now. You know, we eventually adapt to our environment. We do whatever needs to be necessary to survive. That's the way it is. So I don't see anything wrong with maybe changing Dundas. Yeah, it's kind of weird because I'm used to it,
Right.
but it is definitely an odd topic in itself that we definitely have to talk about, which should be talked about.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, it's you know, it's a matter of coming back to last week's episode when we mentioned separating art from the artist, you know. You know, I've separated the bad from the good. You know, I'm sure that they've done a lot more good than they did bad, but that one bad is really gonna weigh you down, you know. Speaking of which, a comment on last week's video done by homegirl Sierra. Shout out to Sierra.
Love you, Sierra.
I'll read the comment now. Just bear with me a moment. The comment, and I quote, from Sierra states, "Hey guys, congrats on Lucky Show 13. Thank you. I really like this topic. The question of can you separate the art from the artist is an easy one for me. While it may not be widely held viewpoint, I have never really paid attention to artists themselves and have more so focused on the art. That separation is easy for me. It does become a hard line to walk with situations like R. Kelly. I have the same viewpoint as Ryan with this, in that if I stumble across the song or if it comes on and I'm feeling, then I'll bob along and I won't play it out loud on purpose. I am looking forward to the next one." Well, here we are, Sierra. It is the next one. And we mentioned your comment. That being said, you should be ashamed of yourself. All right. R. Kelly is a sick man. And if, for God's sake, if I see you next time and you're bumping that ignition, there's a problem. And for those of you who want to complain, her email it. No, I'm playing. Yeah, I would have to agree with her on that. I mean, obviously it's a tough situation to separate art from the artist, because when they do to the bad, it's yikes. But when they do the good, they're pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, hell, man, I'm not gonna front. I kind of want, R. Kelly to, there's some days where I just I listen to some of his songs. I'm like, damn, you think Trapped in the Closet's ever gonna make a comeback after this? But at the same time, it's what he did was inexcusable, and if he did the crime, he should do the time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't see R. Kelly coming back in modern day time.
I don't
see
either.
that. I think the generation that happens to listen to music, he probably wouldn't do well.
No.
In relation to the music, even though his R&B was straight fire. But I don't think he would do well anyway. So fuck that. So aside from all that,
yeah.
It would be an interesting topic, but thank you, Sarah, for leaving that comment.
Yes.
I really do appreciate it.
Always. You've been a big support to the show, and we've greatly appreciated it. So thank you so much. And please stick around with us as we move along this journey.
So the one thing I wanted to sort of get into with today's episode, because I was thinking about it, was why do you like Canada?
Why do I like it?
I definitely have a disgusting history.
Sure. Well, now that
we
this
badmouthed Canada for the last couple minutes.
Sure.
But, I would like to hear why you enjoy being a Canadian.
I mean, there's the free healthcare. That's a big one. I can get stabbed in the and then just go into the hospital like, hey, got stabbed.
Takes my tax.
Here's my card. Do the work. The free healthcare is a good one. People are very nice. That's always good. Very, very nice.
Come to Canada.
Yeah, it's pretty decent here. Montreal, that's a big one for me. Due to my anxiety to talking to people in person, Montreal was I would love to go back to Montreal. By the way, I'm just gonna say that on the record.
Montreal, we're coming for you.
We're coming. We're coming. And when we do. Shit. I mean, yeah, Montreal was always a lot of fun. Montreal was fun. That one weekend we went. I mean, the people there are just absolutely phenomenal. When we went to the drunks,
wonderful.
The drinks.
Montreal is wonderful.
Oh yeah, the drinks are hella cheap. But yeah, I can't wait to go back. Just and I want to really explore this, the cities more. Go to different cities and really do comparison. Our beaches,
yes,
Bruce Peninsula.
For anybody who hasn't been to Bruce Peninsula, please go.
honestly, we went to
Oh my
Dominican, we
God.
went to, we went to a lot of beaches. Bruce Peninsula, by far the best water I've ever seen in my life. The
It's
best water.
actually beautiful.
Literally, I went there and I was like baffled by
This is
how.
in Ontario.
Yes.
We've been to Dominican
Yes.
Republic together. We've
Right.
been like out and about.
Right.
I've been to Mexico and like, yeah, the water and you're in the sea and stuff like that. But like Bruce Peninsula,
Literally, I saw the water and my jaw dropped. It was beyond clear. Like you don't see clear waters like that anymore.
It's literally the gem of
Literally
Ontario.
beautiful.
So
the sight was insane. The cliff, when you sit on the cliff and you look at that,
go check that out. Definitely go
Bruce
check that out.
Peninsula.
Yeah.
You have to go. You have to go if you're coming to Ontario. That's what. Oh my god! And you know what? And I think that's just tip of the iceberg too, because I think it gets a lot better in other provinces. So just a few things I love about Canada. What I don't really like about it is I don't want to say it. Oh, no. You're not going to put me on the spot here. Fine. The women in Toronto are kind of stuck up here. Okay. We have beautiful women. Don't get me wrong.
This is gonna get into
I don't give a
our dating
shit.
our dating 2.0.
Yes,
episode.
that's fine. But the women are kind of stuck up here. They're a bit full of themselves. All right. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful Toronto women. Beautiful. Second, I don't know. There's probably a beautiful woman elsewhere, but Toronto,
women everywhere.
beautiful. Toronto, beautiful. Absolutely stunning women. Some of them, though, the women that I've come across, they're a tad stuck up. You could do better, guys. Come on, be nice. But other than that, Toronto's actually not that bad. Canada, as a whole, I mean, like obviously this is a disappointing one, but in the past, I was definitely proud. I'm proud now. I would say a bit, disappointed, obviously, but Canada, when it comes to countries, the creations of to get where we are. Obviously, there's going to be the good and bads, but as the saying goes, sometimes you have to go through hell to get to heaven. And
Yes.
Canada, you did just that clearly, but yeah, it's it's hard to say that I'm proud to be a Canadian today because I was always proud. It's just that today of all days is it's a rough one for me. But yeah, I do like being a Canadian. I am proud to be a Canadian everywhere and anywhere I go. I was never ashamed. But yeah, today is a toughie. It's a toughie. What do you, Ryan, like about Canada?
So the funny thing is that out of like my group of friends, including Carlos, including anybody I've probably ever met,
yeah,
I think I've been the most proud to be Canadian.
I agree. Yeah.
I think anybody out of our group of friends, anybody I've ever met like on the street or like just like been acquaintances with, I'm a huge Canadian.
Yeah,
like, huge. I love Canada. I love it.
That's true.
I love everything about it. I think like I wear Canada shirts. I go one of my favorite stores is HSBC.
Yeah.
No, not HSBC. Sorry, for Hudson's Bay.
Yeah.
And the Canadian section, like that's my favorite section of all stores.
Yeah.
I love it when Canadians make the Olympics. Like I'm a huge Canada fan.
Yeah.
I love our hockey. In this case, when you happen to hear certain things about residential schools, it's definitely disheartening and it's definitely sad as fuck. The one thing I can say about humanity is that there's no country that doesn't have a dark past.
Oh,
I don't think.
I would agree.
Like, I don't, and I could be 100% wrong. And if I am wrong, please hit me up on our Instagram and our Gmail, please. The blank416@gmail.com. At the blank 416
Instagram,
hit me up. But I think that human beings just happen to have a dark history no matter what fucking graphic location you happen to belong to. So other than that, and what we're doing now as Canadians, and one of the biggest things to be a proud Canadian is that my mom, man, like my mom is an immigrant and she's hardcore immigrant, but Canada gave her that opportunity to be the woman that she is, and my mom is fucking balling. My mom's a G. And Canada open up those doors for her. And I'm saying that if she, and I 100% believe this, and she believes it herself, that if she didn't have the opportunity to come from Cambodia, during World War II and during the killing fields and Cambodian people killing Cambodian people, I don't think that she would be as far off if she didn't come. I don't think that maybe I probably wouldn't be born, because there's not as many opportunities to kind of have children in those third world countries. And I'm not sitting here talking shit about Cambodia, but it's just you don't have the same opportunity as you do have in Canada.
No, I agree.
And it's done for a lot of immigrant parents. A lot of our buddies that we grew up with, a lot of their parents are we happen to be the first gen.
Mm.
And yet look at us.
Yeah.
We're fucking doing great. I had a job, I pay my
Fantastic,
bills,
yeah.
I got a visa.
Better than
Like
most.
huge.
We are literally
Someone
doing
trust
better
me
than most.
with money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
like
not-
that kind of shit.
Yeah. Paying on
Healthcare.
time. Yeah.
Like, man, motherfucker, I got to play sports.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that kind of shit. That shit's like, it's all because of the country that we happen to live in. If I was in Cambodia right now, I probably wouldn't be able to know what a fucking basketball is. I wouldn't know what fucking the Lakers are. I wouldn't know what the Toronto Raptors are. I wouldn't be able to kind of have the healthcare that I happen to have. I could have easily died from fucking diarrhea, like we were talking about in our last episode. So in this case, it's really there's definitely the dark history. I'm not gonna not fucking take that aside, but it's like, man, Canada's done so much for like my family and the people that I know. And I don't mean to make it interpersonal, but it's Canada is another land of opportunity, like when they say in America, but it's just like it's done so much for the people that I know, the opportunities that it's built. I get paid a job that has benefits. Like that in itself is huge, like fucking massive. You know, I get dental care. People fucking die from fucking having bad teeth and shit like that. Like I've heard of like, man, so you don't get this fucking dental surgery, you're gonna die. So it's
I can't
like,
afford it.
yeah, it's like, oh, at least here I can go to the dentist and like benefits is just, it takes care of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's huge. Like it's absolutely huge. And I think that that kind of stuff outweighs, and I'm not trying to take away from the history of Canada because that shit's fucked up indefinitely. But it really just, we've done a good job, I would say. Not in relation to our history and the people, how we treat fucking Aboriginal people. It's fucking terrible.
We've gone a long way though, aside from that.
But I love Canada.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm proud to be a Canadian.
Yeah.
You can cancel fucking Canada Day all you want.
Hey,
but for the people,
hey,
but for the people who really feel it and are really, really proud to be Canadian, it's like, man, we're always gonna hold on to it. I'm not trying to make it seem like we're one of those fucking nationalist people, like Trump supporters out in the States. But it's, man, I love to be Canadian. I think it's a great country. I think that we do a great job in relation to being who we are. Our opinion on certain things. Yeah, we have a fucking terrible housing crisis.
Horrible.
Where we can't even afford fucking houses and we got to do something about it. But majority of the stuff that I've been through my entire life, I would say it outweighs the bad stuff that I've been through. So I love Canada. I really do.
And just to be clear, if you want to cancel Canada Day, at least still give us the day off. I mean,
yes,
like, come on, you know, it's too many days. We're still working. Let's at least enjoy the day offs, please. So take that in consideration for all of you who are listening and watching. You know, yeah, Canada, man. You know, we did okay for ourselves. We have a few, you know, we built up.
Yeah.
You know, we go the Biebs. We got the Biebs, Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
The Weeknd from here.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
Goddamn.
Whew!
We're producing some people.
I mean, Drake. Come on.
Drizzy Drake.
Drizzy Drake.
For anybody who's hating on Drake,
oh dear.
Sorry, man. Sorry, he's your,
you know,
your artists want to be on a feature.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's that
the artist that you love wants to be on a feature with Drake.
That's true.
I'm sorry, man.
100%.
I'm sorry.
They
like,
want
Drake's
to be
the man.
Drake. They want to be Drake.
Yeah. I remember. So the funny thing is, just really quickly, like my favorite rapper is Lupe.
Yeah.
And I remember watching an interview on Lupe, and he was like, there was a point in time where I was fighting for a Drake feature because I knew that what Drake was gonna bring me to, or like at least put me on, and like how my song would be on the radio because of Drake was on it. He's like, I wanted one. And then he was talking to Royce.
Yeah.
Royce 5'9" for anybody who doesn't know. But even Royce was like, man, I wanted a Drake feature at one point. So it's like, man, if Drake, a Canadian dude,
Canadian.
is the person that your favorite rapper, your favorite artist wants on as a feature, it's like, man, like how can you hate on this dude?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. I'm sorry, man. Like I hate to say it, but you're just a hater.
It's not even that. It's just Toronto is known for not supporting their artists. It's just a thing. I don't know why. It's just
We got that haterade in our water.
we really do. We really do. And now, I'm sad to say, I'm guilty of it. I wasn't really a fan of Drake before. Then I heard So Far Gone, and
Oh yeah,
boy, I'm like, this guy's onto something.
Drake's
Then
amazing.
Thank Me Later came out. I was a bit nervous again. It was a good album, but it wasn't, great. Then Take Care came out. Oh, this guy's gonna last a very fucking long time.
Drake's
A very
amazing.
long time. But one dude who was consistent and
Killing
the Weekend.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, House of Balloons.
Anybody who hasn't go listen to his first three
He
albums.
re-released it.
Go listen to his first three mixtapes.
Those mixtapes were
Disgusting.
literal game changers.
Absolutely
That
disgusting.
first mixtape, and when I heard he was Canadian, and I'm like, wait, what? This guy? Literally changed the game. I could not be more proud.
How did you first hear about The Weeknd?
How did I first see it? I think our boy Sean introduced me to him. I think so. But yeah, I saw a picture of it. I saw a picture. It's like a Toronto artist, and I'm like, I don't want to pay attention to it. Then Sean's like, yo, this dude is.
Shout out to Sean.
This dude's.
I love you, man.
Likewise, I love you, Sean. I'm like, yo, this guy's sick. He's Canadian. He's actually sick. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a listen. Then I'm just like, whoa. That's his first mixtape.
Yeah.
That was insane. Just the production, just the and unreal. But yeah, Canada, man, music wise, we've taken over the game.
We kill it.
We're killing it right now. I think the top three artists right now is Drake, Justin Bieber, and The Weeknd. We're killing it, man.
Killing it.
We're an influence, bro.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
It is great. It's fantastic to hear. We're doing our part, man. And who knows where we'll be in the next few years, man. We might be the Epitona podcast if shit works out for us. So who knows? We'll be great. And we'll continue to be great. And we'll have our bads, but damn it, we'll have our goods too. Canada! God damn it! Yeah. But and then speaking of the show, yeah, man, where do you see the show being in like 2 years from now? Let's say 2 years.
I think like even with just sitting together is a huge milestone because this did happen to come out of COVID.
Right.
I think the idea happened to come out of it. And I'm sure a lot of our projects that happened to produce during the COVID years because people happen to have time or whether they're forced to kind of learn something different or do something different. I think that there's a little bit of good that came out of it. So this is in itself, and I'm proud of what we're doing. And I think that it's gonna, whether it makes it huge, which is probably somewhat of the end goal, but it's the consistency and the part of that the identity conversation that we had earlier. It's like I don't identify as a person that I am. I don't identify as a person that I am 9 to 5. I identify as the person that I am outside of that, or my 5 to 9 kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, no, I think this is huge. I think it's great. I think we're gonna be consistent, whether it's huge or not, it's gonna be consistent. And I think that you'll get that taste of me and Carlos, whether we disagree or agree on certain things. It's gonna be fun. So welcome.
Welcome.
What about you, Carlos?
Shoot, man, I'm seeing us going on talk shows, taking over that shit. Being guests on shows.
Wow.
Having guests on our show. Right here. We grill them. Who knows if we're even going to be here? And we may even have our another venue from here on. Who knows if things picks up. But in all seriousness, no. I see us being consistent. Merch. We want to have merch coming out.
Yes.
Promote the
Good fucking thing.
Yeah.
Just before Carlos finishes, we are working on merchandise.
Yeah.
And stickers and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So look out for that in the near future.
And then promoting the show everywhere and anywhere we go. It may not even be in the city. We could, be on vacation that week, put a few stickers there. Just promoting
to a listener in South
Korea.
Korea.
South, yeah. Shout out to the homeboy or homegirl in South Korea that's listening. Promoting the show anywhere and everywhere. I really want to give the show a chance. I think there's potential to it. It's these small beginnings that I appreciate, and then seeing where we go from here. If the show does take off, fantastic. If we're still consistent with it, I'm glad to do it. So we'll see where it go from there. For sure.
Close, man. I guess I don't know what time we're at.
How long have you been doing? I have no idea how long you've been doing this.
I guess your final thoughts for the world in relation to anything, because we haven't really had a main topic, I would say, for this episode. But what is your take home today?
Cosby's free, deal with it. Canada Day. Celebrate, the good of the country. Remember, that, although we have the bad, we still had some good. Remember those lives that were lost from all those years of the residential schools. And, you have the day off, so go out, celebrate if you want, meet up with friends and family, because stage 2, we out here.
Hit a patio.
Support
a business.
Yeah, support your favorite business from closing down. A lot more people are allowed out more. Barbershops opened up. Get your haircuts. Get your nails done, hair done, everything good. That's all I got to say in the matter. And look forward to the blank, because as much as we grow and grow, we want you to follow along with us. From these humble beginnings to wherever we take us. The blank is we're here to stay, folks. And we're gonna be here a while, so you're stick with us to the end. All right. That's all I gotta say on the matter. Trump 2024.
End this shit right now.
Yeah,
man.
that's
the fuck.
And Ryan, what about you?
I just want to say happy Thursday to everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
And happy Friday if you happen to be listening to it on a Friday. But happy Canada Day. I know definitely there's certain dark spots that we happen to have about our history and recognize it and talk about it. If you can support it in some sort of financial way or put some sort of effort into it, then yes, I'm with you. But it's Canada Day is to be being a proud Canadian. Yes, we do happen to have those years, and maybe this is one of those years where you shouldn't be a proud Canadian just because of what's going on. But Canada Day in itself, it is something to celebrate. Whether it's made your life better as a country, whether it's not, maybe you've enjoyed our hockey team, maybe you haven't. We need to do better in our basketball team, and I'm hoping our basketball team is fucking well, because we are in the
we're top 5
qualifiers right now. Yeah, so shout out to our Canadian basketball team. But in this case, it's really don't forget the identity that we happen to have. You as an individual that lives in a society, it's like, man, healthcare. Remember the little things, man. I think that's one of the things. It's really, there's little things about Canada that people don't appreciate. Yeah, we have a fucking housing crisis, but man, we're lucky to even fucking have the opportunity to have a house
somewhere,
to live a house. Man, people think that it's human rights to have a fucking roof over your head, but it's like, man, that shit doesn't fly. Me and Alicia, we were watching this video earlier where they're saying
who's Alicia?
Oh, Alicia is my dear love. I love her to death. So
that's so sweet.
Shout out to Alicia.
That's nice. I'm single, so if you ladies ever want to hit me up, holler at your boy.
But Alicia Aquino is
Alicia is good.
She's
good people. She's good people. Great people, and I love her too. Not in the way that you do, but I care about her deeply.
We were watching this TED Talk earlier, and they're saying there's 2.2 billion people that don't have access to a toilet.
What, here?
No, in the world.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, what the
So
fuck?
2.2 billion. There's 7 billion people, probably close to 8 now, but
Okay.
7 billion people. That's probably 1/3 of, or almost 1/3, if I have my
Of the
math correct,
planet, yeah.
of the planet that don't have access to a proper toilet.
Mm,
So it's like, motherfucker, we got roofs,
right,
we got accessibility to insurance,
right.
fucking pets. Like
Yeah.
pets is a luxury.
Yeah, that is a luxury. Yeah.
Like the variety of food that we happen to have. Like,
Cars.
man, cars.
Yeah.
Canada's did a good job, man. Like
Yeah.
honestly,
We have toilets.
Yeah,
We
we
have
have
lots of
toilets.
toilets
Exactly,
here.
tons of toilets.
Tons of toilets.
Probably sometimes
Oh,
two
yeah,
to a
too many
household.
toilets. Yeah.
And in this case, it's like those little things, they mean a lot. And it's like Canada's done a good job to be able to kind of provide us and be able to kind of have the opportunity to provide yourself with something like that.
Mm.
So happy Canada Day. I'm a proud Canadian. You know that, and how much flack we might get from this episode for it. But I just want to say thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Welcome to our new sort of setup for at least hopefully the next couple episodes.
Yeah.
But thank you. That's all I got to say today.
Right. Well then, with that being said, then again, welcome to the new venue, ladies and gentlemen. Young World. I'm Carlos.
This is Ryan.
And this is The Blank with Carlos and Ryan. And with that being said, in the new venue, Philly.